Do you remember that box of vintage cameras that I got a while back? Well, I was able to take two of those cameras out um, and actually run some film through them. This one that I did, which I should have inserted a shot of the actual camera that I took the photos for that I'm using in this layout today, but I didn't think about that. Maybe I'll think about it next time. But this one, it had some film in it. The film was not all the way used. So I just took some photographs of things around my yard to use up the film so I could take it in and test if the camera functioned or not. And yay, the camera does function. Um, Also, I need to learn how to use that specific camera properly. It's a Wirgin. It starts with a W. I want to say that it's a German made camera. I could be mistaken, but it is an older camera. It is a folding camera and it has a very Art Deco style look to it. It's pretty cool. I need to do some more cleaning up and things with it, but I'm happy to say that it does take actual photos. Um, I'm using the HP Sprocket to print out these little photos. Currently, it is what I use to print all of the photos that I use in my journaling. I'm thinking about some different kinds of printers that maybe we'll check out at some other point in time. Um, just to have a little more versatility in printing options because I don't always necessarily need to print a photo. And I have noticed with this one lately, I don't know if it's this specific pack of paper because I hadn't noticed it uh, previously, but this one has started printing any white or light colored areas of the photo have a red tinge to them. It's like things aren't developing quite correctly or something. So there's a little bit of red tinge in the lighter areas of these photos. And since this is just for my photo journal, it's totally okay. I am not concerned about getting perfect photo printouts for this purpose. They are a little fiddly to get them unstuck, but I do like that they're peel and stick and I can just stick them down. This background that you're seeing is a watercolor background that I did the other day. I did not record it because I was so frustrated and upset with trying to set up a camera to get an angle to record it that I ended up just giving up on recording and just putting some paint down in my journal because I really needed to do that. So yeah, so I just made that little background. Oh, yeah, I totally knocked over the camera right there. So still, as you can see, the camera setup is not perfect, but I think so far the angles and setup that I have tried, this particular one is working out the best. I mean, you can see what I'm doing, and that's the important part, right? Um, so sometimes in my journals, I will just write down specifically whatever the photo was or whatever I was doing that day as like a memory keeping thing. But sometimes I don't do that. Sometimes I will look at a photo and something else will come to mind. And so on this layout, it is not a memory keeping layout. It is like a little story um kind of thing. I don't know. It's just uh words inspired by the photos. And when you look at the little photos, you can tell they are double exposures. well, like I said, I don't know how to use this camera, so I either forgot to wind the film or didn't wind it correctly, and I'm pretty sure it was like I just forgot to wind the film. So I got some double exposures, which are totally cool, and I don't mind that at all. It was black and white film, but they look pretty cool. And these images are some really bad scans I did of the negatives. So once I get a different scanning setup, I will probably um, rescan these negatives and have a little better photo. But yeah, um, but yeah, your journaling. I love putting photos in mine as a photographer, and I think it's really important, even if you're not a photographer and you're just documenting your life or taking photos of things that you see throughout your day that you just love for whatever reason. Putting them in a journal, um, I don't know, it adds so much to them and helps you remember those moments and those days and those feelings. Um, and it doesn't have to be pretty. I don't have fancy handwriting, and because I'm writing over the top of watercolor, the ink from this pen is bleeding a little bit, so it looks even extra messy. Um, and that's okay because in your journal, you can do whatever you want, and nobody ever has to see it unless you want them to.